Welcome everybody. I wanted to take a few minutes, I hope I can do this in 5 minutes or less, to give you a video introduction to the course. Everything I'm saying I hope would be readily apparent to you as you spend some time looking through the design and organization and structure of the course, plus using the course syllabus. So I don't intend this to be all-inclusive, I just intend this to touch on a few highlights. So I strongly recommend you spend a little time with the syllabus and with just looking at the course layout in and of itself. But this is the local school leadership class, one of the courses I really enjoy teaching. It has been a few years since I have been a school principal, but I have taught this course a few times, and I hope it's a course that I can continue to teach. I have some suggestions to share with you, but before that I wanted to give you just a few of the highlights of how the course is laid out. We have a comprehensive ed leadership program at West Georgia, and we've given a lot of thought to what content needs to be taught and which courses, and also what kind of methodologies are most appropriate. So when you get into the latter ed leadership courses and the residency experiences, we tend to use your own work site and job-embedded experiences as the primary teaching venue. But this course is considered one of the pre-residency kind of courses, so we take a very broad overview perspective for this course. So this is one in which we're going to address a lot of the educational leadership standards, some not in great detail, but we will address quantitatively a large number of standards and introduce you to a number of elements of the content, but it's presumed and assumed that as you work your way through the rest of the ed leadership program, you'll revisit the same standards again in much greater detail, oftentimes by doing job-embedded real kinds of application experiences during your residency opportunity. So I know you know by now we're doing this course in 8 weeks, which is essentially 1/2 of a regular semester. So we'll need to hit the ground running on this. I've organized the course into 5 modules. The first module is where you'll find the syllabus, the link to get into the collaborate room, the organizational kinds of mechanisms and pieces are in the first module. So then that leaves modules 2, 3, 4, and 5 as the content modules, and because we have 8 weeks with 4 modules, we're going to work through this chronologically, with each module having 2 weeks of time allocated to it. Rather than asking you to pay a lot of money for a textbook, I have identified some articles that address the content and the standards that we need in each of the modules. So typically the way a module would look would be there's a few articles for you to read. Hopefully you find them interesting, useful. Almost every module, if not every module, has a scored discussion. So the discussion would be somewhat related to the articles. You'd be able to use the articles to draw on in the discussion, but also the discussions are designed to take you even beyond where the articles have been. So most every module has a discussion, and then most every module has a quiz, and I used the articles basically to develop the quiz questions. So the quizzes are designed to be a tool for you to get feedback on whether you're learning the expected content. It also provides feedback to me and also gives me the information about whether we might need to reteach something. So the quizzes are not designed to be gotcha, they're designed to really be checking for understanding. And then there are 3 other assignments that go essentially throughout the entire semester, and you'll typically find those identified and explained in the Dropbox. But here's the kind of the overall organization. A few more comments that you'll find when you look at the syllabus. I try to make all the assignments due at Sunday on midnight. I think there's one exception, the last week of the course. I have to turn grades in, I think, Monday morning, so I couldn't deal with a Sunday at midnight deadline, so I think I made the last deadline a Friday night. That gives me the weekend to try to get things graded so that I can submit grades. But I do use the class calendar with inside the D2L CourseDen platform. There is a calendar, so every assignment, live session, significant event is on the calendar. So you can rest assured, unless we have to change the dates and we don't have a lot of time to play with, you should be able to lay out your personal calendar next to the class calendar and not have to worry about missing anything. The live sessions are discussed in another news item on the first page of the course, but I wanted to emphasize that those are optional, but those are designed to really provide support to you, which in such a short turnaround for everything we have in our 8 weeks, I want to make sure you have the kind of support and level of engagement that you need. And as I mentioned earlier, we have discussions and case studies in every module, rather than have you work in one large group, because this is a fairly large class. You're going to be subdivided into 3 smaller discussion groups. That way you can really focus your attention on a smaller number of postings and focus more on providing a quality kind of an interaction and quality responses, because maybe you're only responding to 10 discussion prompts as compared to 100. So the idea is you'll be able to elevate the quality of the discussion. And then last slide, just to make a couple of comments. I know most of you have had an online class before. You might have not had one happen in such a rapid amount of time, the 8-week session, but certainly an obvious recommendation would be for you to allocate some regular time to the course. If we were meeting like a regular course, we'd be meeting face-to-face somewhere around 80 hours just in face-to-face class meeting time. So some of that 80 hours that we're not spending in live classes, you need to allocate to working through the articles that are posted, reading the assignments, watching the videos, etc. I've already suggested you sync your personal calendar with the class calendar. I know life happens and work happens and you get busy, but you're going to be a lot better off if you check in every day and try to keep up doing something every day. In 8 weeks, it's difficult to only work on the course during the weekend. So I know that that's the preferred method for many of you, and I understand how busy your jobs and your lives are, but I think biting this course off in small bites by trying to take a small bite almost every day is probably a good recommendation for you. I enjoy working with you. I enjoy teaching. I enjoy what I do, so I would invite you to have a good experience as we work together in this course. So again, this was just designed as a brief introduction. Please take the time to take a look at the syllabus and spend more time looking at the organizational structure, noting that each of the modules has an overview that should be providing you almost a checklist of what you should be doing. So again, welcome and enjoy yourself.